Long time no see, Timbers Army, but welcome back to another video. It's been a while, I know, but nonetheless I'm still feeling great from that 3-0 win on Sunday at Providence Park, so it's time to film a match recap. Now before I jump into all the juicy bits, I've decided to make a few changes to the shape of these videos to make them shorter and less time consuming, but still filled with all the info you need. So let me know in the comments below if you enjoy this one. So we headed into the game off the back of our first win of the season, beating Minnesota 3-2 in a thrilling game at Providence Park. But Sunday's game against the then league's top side, NYCFC, was due to be a much tougher test for Savarese's side. So let's begin by looking at the lineup to take on the boys in blue and see how it differs from the lineup that faced Minnesota. So immediately you notice the formation change from that funky 4-3-2-1 to the more traditional 4-4-1-1. I was pretty intrigued when I saw this change, but it makes sense if Gio was looking for a more rigid performance defensively, as it offers the defence more cover against an NYC side that's both hot in attack and likes to keep the ball. Next up, the player changes. First, there's Attinella in for Gleeson, a tactical change by Gio and one that many fans have been waiting to see after some iffy performances by Gleeson. Secondly, we had Ridgewell in for the injured Tui Loma. Now when I first saw the lineup, I didn't actually realise that Bill was injured and just saw this as a thoughtful defensive move by head coach Gio, as Ridgewell will be coming back with something to prove and he has more experience to deal with the notorious David Villa of NYC. So I know I've hated on Ridgewell on Twitter and on here previously, but he did have a very good game, so don't worry, I will be praising him in the future. Blue tack's not the solution. Last but not least, there's Flores in for Polo to suit for that more defensive lineup change, and again I shall be giving him praise in just a minute. So on to the game itself, and the Timbers could have grabbed a couple of goals in the first 20 minutes with great chances falling to both Blanco and Valeri, but both narrowly failing to convert. Either way, the deadlock was broken on the 26th minute mark when Blanco somehow managed to get on the end of a looping Flores cross to then leap like an absolute salmon and head it towards the inside of the back post, eluding both the goalkeeper and the defender and finding its way into the back of the net, something Fernando Addy would definitely be proud of. So let's just take a second to appreciate that cross by Flores, his second assist of the season. Them looping ones towards the far post are so difficult to defend against, especially when you've got a 5'7" attacker out-leaping a 5'9" defender. Skip forward 10 minutes and the Timbers grabbed their second to make it 2-0. The counter-attack was created thanks to the brilliant hustling by Diego Chara and Sebastian Blanco, who did this brilliantly in the midfield all game, not to mention Paredes and Flores as well. Blanco then came forward with the ball at pace and laid it to Valeri on the right, whose drive across / towards goal was parried by Johnson straight into the path of Fernando Addy, who made no mistakes and scored his second goal of 2018. A real poacher's goal, so well done to him for being in the right position at the right time. So on to the second half, and the Timbers scored their third and final goal in the 65th minute. A Valeri corner flew onto the unchallenged head of Luis Marbiala, who headed home his first ever goal for the Portland Timbers. We've seen the Timbers choke 2-0 leads before, so it's nice to see that 3 goals meant 3 points. Just a quick note on that NYC defending. Zonal marking, never really been a fan, always just seems to lead to finger pointing, but they still are second in the East, so are doing most things right. So now something a little bit new to the recap videos. I'm going to do 3 big talking points that I believe got the Timbers the win. Firstly, tactics. Well done all coaches involved. The 4-4-1-1 formation gave stability throughout and gave the Timbers the fluidity to soak up all the NYC possession whilst also being dangerous on the counter-attack. That second goal by Addy, the perfect example. Second point, big performances. I could honestly go throughout the whole starting 11 and the subs and praise them for the roles they played in this win, but my focus is going to be on the defence. Jeff Attinella in goal was calm, collected and as organised as ever, making a good claim to start next game. Zarek Valentin, as ever, put in another outstanding shift in the left back position, nullifying the threat that we know so well, Rodney Wallace. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Vitas gets fully fit. Will Valentin hold the left back spot, or will he swap for Powell on the right hand side? Speaking of Powell, another great performance filled with attacking presence off the back of his MLS Team of the Week performance against Minnesota. Can't forget Laurice Mabiala in the middle for his very solid performance, capped with his first goal for the Timbers and a spot on the MLS Team of the Week. And lastly, Liam Ridgewell. I've slated him in the past and he still has a way to go to get into my good books, but this was a good stepping stone, a very, very good performance, helping stop David Villa and, really controlling that central defence. Certainly made a case to start the next game. So on to my third and final talking point, and that is simply Sebastian Blanco. Yes, you guessed it, the man made it onto the MLS Team of the Week bench, but in my opinion earned a starting spot after what was a man of the match performance at Providence Park. Whether it's from his hustling to him leaping like a salmon, he really is starting to become one of my favourite players on the Timbers roster, from his, his attacking presence and flair all the way to his hard work. So well done, Blanco. Keep it up. Lastly, I'll quickly touch upon the statistics as it highlights how the Timbers won this game tactically through great defending. NYC had a crazy amount of possession, 74.6% to be precise, but that didn't bother the Timbers as they soaked it up and NYC were limited to half chances and crossing the ball into the box, a total of 25 times. This in turn frustrated the boys in blue, who committed 16 fouls in comparison to the Timbers' 6. Just some food for thought that shows how well the Timbers defended throughout the game. As for this weekend, the Timbers have a break, but the following weekend on Sunday the 6th of May, we travel to the struggling San Jose Earthquakes to see if we can continue the good run of form. So that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the not so long recap, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and let me know your version of the match recap in the comments below, and subscribe, tell your friends, do what you want, just try and get the channel out there, because I'm back and I'm determined to make these videos on a more frequent basis. But typical, now the Timbers have a bit of a break, but nonetheless, I hope you guys have enjoyed and I will see you in the next one.